Hello everyone. Welcome back to Introduction to Object-Oriented Programming. Last video, we went over what object-oriented programming means by looking at objects and classes. This episode is going to be focused on the first of the four main principles of object-oriented programming, that being encapsulation. Encapsulation refers to bundling data along with methods that can operate on that data within a class. Essentially, it's the idea of hiding data within a class that anything outside that class cannot directly interact with. That is not to say that they are unable to interact with a separate object's attributes at all, however. Instead, members of other classes looking to interact with the attributes of an object should only be able to do so through its methods, or the functions defined within the object or class. In practice, one way this tends to work is by creating getting and setting methods. These methods act to either get information from an object or to set attributes to a different value. For instance, think back to the chess example from the previous episode. If I was moving one piece and I wanted to determine whether it was able to capture another piece, I would need to check if the second piece has the opposite color to the first. To do this, I would define a .get method associated with each piece that returns the piece's color, in this case, piece.getColor. This way, I could check the color of any piece from anywhere in my code without having to access the internal attributes of said pieces. This allows us to retrieve information from where it is defined. Additionally, this makes it easiest to keep track of attributes that depend on one another. For example, if I was programming a game, I may have two different attributes for the player's health, max health and current health. When the player's character levels up, I may have their max health increase. When this happens, I would want the current health to be set to the max health as well. Instead of changing both of these values directly, I could define the setMaxHealth method such that the current health is also set to the maximum health once the maximum health has increased. Furthermore, these setting methods allow values to be validated. For instance, if current health is not able to exceed maximum health, then I would have the setCurrentHealth method check if the current health would be greater than the maximum health before making any change. Finally, you may want some values to be read-only from the outside of the class. This means that you would only define a get method, but not a set method. For another example, let's take a look back at chess. When dealing with a piece's position, you would want to keep track of its rank, that being its row, and its file, or its column. When the piece moves, you may think it would be okay to just set piece.rank and piece.file to new values. However, as discussed previously, this is not the best way to handle it. It would be better to define a piece.move function that takes the intended new rank and file and checks if that is indeed a valid move. The piece would not be able to move if, say, the new location is off the board, a piece of the same color is already on that square, or making such a move would put the king of the same color in check. Additionally, other methods may be called from this move method. For instance, one that captures an enemy piece if it was on that square, or one that puts the enemy king in check. Were the piece's attributes just to be directly changed, you could end up in a strange situation where illegal moves are played and pieces occupy the same square. Essentially, getter methods allowing validation can be very useful in this instance as well as many others. Encapsulation is very useful for a variety of reasons. As we just went over, it is best to not have an object's attributes edited by anything external. This is especially true when you are working on a large and complex program, where you may want individual pieces of the program to work without requiring them to rely on every other section of code. In this way, preventing each piece of your code from referencing and requiring knowledge of the inner workings of each other section of code can be very useful. This is an idea we will touch upon again in future episodes to come, but for now, it's best to understand that information hiding, that is, keeping one class from being able to directly access the data of another class, i.e. keeping it hidden, it is important to keep control of the program and in reducing the program's overall complexity. Encapsulation is a vital component of object-oriented programming that allows the programmer to maintain control of their data and keep their program from ending up in any strange states. While an understanding of encapsulation is certainly useful in helping you to understand object-oriented programming as a whole, there are still 3 more principles to discuss. Next episode, we will be getting into abstraction, which extends many of the ideas of encapsulation that we talked about in today's episode, so be sure to be on the lookout for the next video to learn more about that. With that said, if you enjoyed this video and want to see others like it, consider liking the video and checking out our other videos on the channel. Additionally, we have more series on the horizon, so subscribe to be ready for those when they come out. Thanks for watching.